right, guys, when we come up with our own sentences to analyze for sentence analysis, we can sometimes come across things that we're not really sure how to handle. So I'm going to go over a couple of things that you might come across. So this first sentence here, we ran around the block on a rainy day. Now we know the first thing we have to ask ourselves is, what is the action or the predicate? And here in this sentence, it is ran. So I'm going to circle it. You can also underline it. And then we ask ourselves, who is it that, or what is it that ran? Or what is the subject? That we know is we. We ran. Now, we ran whom or what around the block? Nope. We ran to whom, to what, for whom, for what around the block on a rainy day? No. So it's not, we don't have any direct objects or indirect objects here, and that's okay. So let's move on to our adverbial extensions. So we ran with whom, with what around the block on a rainy day? No. We ran what for? No. We ran why? Well, because it's fun to run around the block on a rainy day, but that's not what the sentence says. So we ran where? Around the block. So I'm going to underline around the block. And this is the adverbial extension of place. So I'll write in parentheses place underneath. Now, but I haven't finished analyzing my whole sentence here. So we can keep going. We ran around the block by whom, by what? A rainy day? No. By means of whom, by means of what? No. How? Well, with rain boots on, of course. No, but that doesn't answer what we're looking for. We ran when on a rainy day. So that's what we're looking for here. We're going to underline our next adverbial extension, and that is the adverbial extension of time. So I'll write time underneath. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Miss Christine, the only thing that's different about this than the other example is that it's got two adverbial extensions. Well, you can see a lot of adverbial extensions in sentences sometimes. But there's an arrow I haven't talked about yet, and that's this one. Which, what kind of? Now, can we find a place in this sentence where this might fit? Well, what kind of day was it? It was a rainy day, so I got a blue colored pencil now, and I am going to, now if we had our box of little circles and shapes, we would cut out the word rainy and we'd put it on a blue triangle. So I'm just gonna put a blue triangle around rainy. And because it's what kind of day, it's a rainy day. That actually makes it kind of hard to read. You could just underline it too. Whatever works for you, you do you, so long as you're showing that it's there. Now, this is called an attributive. Attributives can be adjectives sometimes, hence why we have the blue triangle here. We know that that represents an adjective. It can also be a noun, and I'll show an example of that next. Our hometown, Milwaukee, sits on the shores of Lake Michigan. It sure does. I love Lake Michigan. Such a wonderful thing. Beautiful views. Anywho. So, what is the action here? It is sits. Who is it or what is it that sits? Our hometown sits. our hometown sits whom or what? No. To whom, to what? No. No direct object or indirect object here. Our hometown Milwaukee sits. I can look through all my orange arrows, and I could ask myself each one here, but I'm not going to do that because I can already see which one it is. Our hometown Milwaukee sits where? On the shores of Lake Michigan. The adverbial extension of place. So I'll underline that. And I'm going to put in parentheses underneath that. That's our adverbial extension of place. Now, I have our blue arrow here. What kind of? Now, what kind of hometown are we talking about? We're talking about, if we're talking about us, our hometown is Milwaukee. So what kind of? Now, is Milwaukee a noun? I'm sorry, is it an adjective? Spoiler alert, it's a noun. It's not an adjective, so I would want my black triangle here. So to show that it's an adverbial extension, we can still underline it in blue. Or no, it's not an adverbial extension. It's a adjective. It's an attributive, but it's a noun attributed. So to indicate that it's a noun attributive, I'm going to put a black triangle above it, just like we would with our